to be made available.
Okay, I make a motion that we accept Timothy L. Forsman for the Land Use Board of Appeals alternate for a 5-year term.
Second.
Discussion, questions? All in favor? Carries full. Okay. Moving to the 7th order of business, which is council workshop and other business. First on there is to discuss the budget for year 2022 to 2023.
And this was simply put on there in case we had any follow-up from your Saturday meeting. There wasn't any follow-up that was required from that meeting, so, but I think all in all, your process went very well. It went very smoothly. We took, 3 hours, and we were done, so it was good. Very good.
Yeah. Okay, that being none there, move on to discuss the Crawford Fund.
So in your packet, you have what the available distribution amount is for this year. While it was relatively stable for most of the year, the $51,500 that was withdrawn, that was given to them in July of 2021, has left their available for distribution this year based on our policy of $218.32, which is not an awful lot.
No.
But that's how this works. It's not zero. It's not less than zero, which we have had before. But it looks as though well, you can see in front of you, the biggest change in value happened in August, where the account took a hit of about $18,000.
Well, it looks like July went down 41.
Yeah, and that was because actually July had a gain of 13,820, but
okay.
there was the distribution of the 51,500. That was their appropriation for this year. So that's from that. So really, the biggest month was September, which I think the stock market everywhere, markets everywhere went down, but yeah.
19.
So that's where this is at for this year.
Okay, is there, have they said anything, or?
So it hasn't been submitted to them yet. Usually what we do is, so the typical practice is that it comes to the council, we discuss it before the letter actually goes to the school. This is the time frame in which that happens. And we're required to notify the school by February, so this will go out. But we wanted to get this in front of you as soon as we don't get the December totals till sometime in January. So those finally came in, and we had this available for this meeting. So, but yeah.
But as per the actual Crawford Trust legal paperwork, which is not included in here.
Right.
It does have a portion in there that says that distribution may be made from time to time. Although we may be giving them $218, should there be some catastrophic event, there is nothing stopping us from going to that fund and withdrawing a sum of money to cover something that they had. So they're not technically left in the lurch.
Right.
Yeah.
And normally speaking, if something was happening, we would hear from them by now anyway, usually they.
Right, but I mean, if they have an instrument or something in the course of the year that goes south, something catastrophic happens that insurance doesn't cover on them, that is an option for them. So we're not leaving them high and dry per se, but for their other funds that they do for camps and things of that nature, sometimes things happen.
Yep.
In the market, happened.
Yeah. And it has happened over the years.
It has happened in the past. There was a couple of years where there were.
It was in the hole. It actually ended the year in the hole.
Yes.
Yeah. There was absolutely nothing. So, but that's where this is. So it just making you aware, and we'll put that letter together for them, notifying them of who the contact for the Crawford Fund for their meeting, because they'll have a meeting, they'll get together, then they put their request forward, that comes to us, and then you do that award. So with that process, and then their funds get distributed in July, once the fiscal year starts.
Nobody's reached out to me on that yet.
And it's kind of early,
It is. That's usually June,
May,
June.
somewhere in there. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's kind of early. I know that they really haven't dug into their budget process yet, based on my conversations with the superintendent. They're just getting started on all of that, so.
Okay.
Yep. Okay.
All right. Moving on to the third. Discuss other council business.
Well, let's just not look at each other.
We got other business?
I do.
Stephanie.
And actually, Michelle, you alluded to it in your manager's report. And so my question to you is, will we be utilizing social media to inform our citizens concerning the Dirigo report?
Yes, so we will be doing that. So they are working on finalizing the report, so to put it in its final version, so it's not the draft. And that's based upon some of the feedback that they had received from the Water District with some pieces that needed to be included in that report. And once that is done, then we'll be able to share that on our website and social media outlets, those sorts of pieces. And then what we're also going to be doing is planning some big press releases, which the Central Maine Growth Council has had a lot of luck with in recent past, about the notification. As soon as the public hearing is scheduled, it would be done here in the gymnasium. We're looking into possibly having an independent facilitator for that meeting, and also trying to invite folks, like maybe it be from DEP or the CDC or that kind of stuff, just so that we can have a whole bunch of people on hand to answer any questions that we might receive regarding public drinking water expansion. So we're in the thought process of that right now and trying to make sure that this public hearing is as beneficial as it possibly can be for the community and everybody can get their answers.
Okay. I was reading the latest issue of the MMA.
Legislative bulletin?
Yep. And they
Yeah,
had
we just got that today.
Yeah, the last page is all on forever
On
chemicals
PFAS, yeah.
and what a conundrum everything is in.
Yep.
And I've been thinking it with, because I'm ready for snow to be gone, and I'm thinking seeds, and I was wondering if there was something that we could possibly do to help people that are affected with forever chemicals in their soil so that they are aware of alternatives. I don't know if anything's being done, but maybe through the Somerset, the one up at UMO has one, the water conservation people.
Oh, and like
Yeah.
you're the cooperative extension.
Yes.
Is who you're thinking
Yeah.
of. Yes. I'm not sure, but that's definitely an organization to reach out to see if they have anything. I haven't been on their website in a very long time, but we certainly could check in with the cooperative extension and see if they have anything. Even if they have just information regarding container gardens or that kind of stuff would certainly help
Right.
for folks and that kind of thing.
Right,
So-
because I did read an article where they can plant some things into the ground as long as the roots don't run deep.
I know the CD.
There's certain things
CDC
that doesn't react to it.
Yeah.
Right.
The CDC has been working on collecting a list of plants that do not have the uptake of PFAS, as opposed to like hays and grasses and that kind of stuff, and
Right.
things that are okay and things that are not, based upon science that either they are conducting or things that they have discovered. So I think that there's a link to some of that information, but we can double check that as well on the CDC website, because I think that was stuff they started working on last year.
Yeah, I think it's a good way for us to be proactive, considering we've been dealt all these lemons.
Right.
And,
Well, and the newest one too, today I was actually talking to, you reminded me, I was talking to KSTD today about the new legislation that's up, might be in that bulletin. The hearings were recent.
Yes.
About the sludge spreading, which
Yep.
KSTD does not currently land apply sludge and hasn't for The state put a moratorium in this region on land-applied sludge in 2019, when all of this broke. So they haven't land applied, well, but they also haven't land applied, I think he said it since 2003, 2004. And the sludge currently goes to a landfill. But if they stop land application of biosolids throughout the entire state, that is going to make space at the landfills limited, and nobody really knows. So while these bills are good and they do good things by not putting PFAS out on these properties any longer, it's happened so quickly that no one's real sure what the real long-term effects are going to be from these bills. One of the things he did tell me is that they're relatively certain, while they don't pay for this currently to be landfilled, they're going to be. And it's probably going to add another $80,000 to the sewer department's budget. So, KSTD's budget, which will in turn come to us for the sewer department budget, a portion of that. So they're not sure if that's going to go into effect for 2003 yet, or whether it'll be one more year out. But those are things that they're working on, just trying to stay on top of stuff that,
Right.
I mean, it happens, but, I mean, it's also one of those things where, I mean, you don't argue someone's health based upon a dollar sticker. So that's the other piece of that. But there will be implications to some of these things. They just haven't fleshed out what they all are yet.
Okay.
But I'm going to keep
And
going.
if they have any information on where people could buy compost,
Not that I'm aware of, no.
that's not
I don't
contaminated with,
think I've seen anything in which the state has listed bedded
Does the,
compost. But I think you're supposed to, there's a possibility with some pieces, like if you bought something at Home Depot or Lowe's, you can check to see whether or not the manufacturer has any testing on their website of their material. But no, I'm not aware of anything.
some of the local stuff probably isn't a good idea.
No, as a matter of fact, so if you think about it, even if you didn't go buy compost, but say you actually went to one of these farms where the cows themselves are contaminated and you got manure from the farm and you went to your house and you put that in your garden, in your backyard, and you've done it at all since 2003 or maybe 1993, then you might want to think about what that's. You might not be in a contaminated location, but you yourself might have contaminated your property by going to get that contaminated piece.
Right.
So just things to be mindful of. Yeah, it's terribly unfortunate when you start thinking about all of the little dots that get checked together.
That ripple effect,
That
as
ripple
they said in
effect.
here.
It's a
So
very
they
good-
said, one of the things that we could look at with the extension, cooperative extension, is how to create your own compost. Just to be informative.
Yep, those are really good things.
All right, so, to be continued.
To be continued.
Okay. Hey, don't look at me. I'm good.
I'm good tonight.
It looks like everybody is good, I guess.
Good.
There was nothing, like I said, the only thing that I had was the bridge, that water bill, so that probably in the long run, if that never happens, will help us a lot downtown Fairfield, because I suspect that would have been
It'll be interesting. I still believe a lot of the Winslow traffic is probably going to take the Carter Bridge as opposed to coming here, but you never know.
right, but you got all of the
People that go down 100 and,
Yeah,
you know.
the people live
Yeah.
over in Benton and stuff that live
They're-
down in
right.
those sections
Right.
there, they've got to go, they're not going to go way up to Carter, they're going to come here
Right.
and then just shoot up the.
Yeah. But it'll be great for our downtown business, all of our Fairfield businesses, if we have more traffic coming through town to push them to our businesses.
Yep.
Advertising will be key.
Main Street tonight is pretty busy.
It is very
So,
busy.
Yeah, and I think people need to know also that with the pothole season upon us, we're having a hard time to get cold patch.
That's right.
So patience is needed.
We're filling them just as fast as they're emptying, but.
Yeah, everybody, I mean, it's all over, because I drive to Belgrade every day and stuff, I mean, the roads are horrendous.
So one of the things that we've been finding is a lot of and it's not just this municipality, all municipalities, everybody's reporting the same thing. When the gas pipeline project happened, and there's all those patches in the roads, it has been long enough
They made a
that
nightmare
those,
out of it.
that those patches of what have started to degrade, so you've got these long strips of little potholes everywhere.
Yep.
And that
Yes.
seems to be what it is. It's been long enough that gas project is now starting to fall apart, so.
And sadly, a lot of the grates were frozen over too, so the water was been puddling tremendously.
We've been chasing
deep.
storm drains here. After every storm, somebody's been going around cleaning storm drains
Yeah.
out, and it's, I have to say, for the last, considering what we've had for winters the last several years, these have been two really big storms, almost back to back.
Yeah.
And it seemed like we no sooner finished cleaning up snow from one than the next one came.
correct.
So Public Works has just done a tremendous job at not only just the roads, but snow removal in the downtown and trying to make sure sidewalks are open for the kids and the intersections so that you can see, and storm drains so that they don't back up. And it's just been chasing one thing after another. So they've been doing a great job.
Absolutely.
Yes.
All right. Anybody got anything else? All right, there being none there, the next regular meeting of the Fairfield Town Council will be on Wednesday, February 23rd, 2022, to be held as a hybrid meeting via Zoom, council chambers at 6:30 PM. We will go into recess at this time and sign all documents that require the signature of council members.
Motion to recess. Thank you.
Second.
Thank you.